this is one of the things where I got wrapped up in the politics of the day, but then I put it in the book is I thought Trump could fire Mueller because I don't think it's constitutional, consistent with the text of Article 2 that you read, for Congress or attorney generals or anyone to create a prosecutor who's investigating and prosecuting federal crimes who can't be controlled by the president.
Yes.
Only the president is the one charged constitutionally enforcing the law. This is what Justice Scalia said in his famous dissent to Morrison versus Olson, attacking the constitutionality of this law. He said,
"This wolf comes as a wolf."
Yeah, sometimes wolves comes disguised as sheep. This one is wolf comes as a wolf. Great, it's a great line.
Yeah.
But anyone who exercises the prosecutorial authority of the United States is just delegated, works for the president. And so how does the president control anyone who fires them?
Yes.
So I actually was, so I once proposed that Trump should have sat down, which he did not do, should have sat down with a deposition with Mueller. An interview, live streamed, pay-per-view, but carry it live on, for everyone to see. And then at the very end, Trump could say, "And now you're fired." You're fired. Yeah, this is his favorite. He loves doing it on TV, but it would have been the greatest. And I told the guys, I was like, this would get the highest TV ratings of any show in the history of the world.
It's The Apprentice. It's The Apprentice.
It'll be bigger than the Super Bowl.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah,
and then all the revenue you could just donate to charity or something like that. That'd be great. Well, I think it's funny. People say that people have forgotten this. When I'm teaching, my students, I don't think ever knew it. So they couldn't forget it because you have to know it first to forget it. But I think a lot of people never learned this. I think that they never read the Constitution. They never actually read. I talk to law students all the time that haven't really thought carefully about what it says and what it means. I mean,
in a constitutional law textbook, probably the leading one, which I use, the Constitution is Appendix B. It's not Appendix A. Appendix A is the biographies of the justices. And
that says a lot right there.
I said to my friend, who's an author on this book, I was like, how can you make the text of the Constitution some appendix in the back? And it's not even the first appendix. And so he says, interesting.
You use it obviously because you think it's a good textbook, which means it's probably better than
everybody uses.
Okay.
So he said, the course is not on the Constitution. The course is on constitutional law. And constitutional law is what the courts create, not what comes from the Constitution itself. And I said, that was really telling.
That is very telling, yes.
All the courts create.
Yeah. Well, that's an issue of authority. It seems like the Constitution created the court, not the other way around. And so it's like, well, wait, hold on. Do we have the cart before the horse here?
Well, this is part of the. It's not really squarely presented in this book, but earlier book I wrote, Crisis and Command, I really addressed this, which is
fantastic book.
I think if the Constitution is the highest law, then it's not just the court that has some monopoly on interpreting it and advancing it. The other two branches do too in the course of doing their job. So you would think a president should never sign an unconstitutional law. He should veto all of them. And you think Congress should never pass an unconstitutional, or each congressperson, each president should interpret the Constitution for themselves. So I thought the greatest example of this, there too, was Abraham Lincoln, of course, right, saying, I think Dred Scott is wrong. Right? I'm not going to carry it out in any new case. Or Andrew Jackson saying, I think the Supreme Court's wrong, and McCulloch versus Maryland, I think the bank is unconstitutional, so I'm going to veto the reauthorization of the bank. I think the vision is the Constitution is supreme, and then each of the three branches, and all of us citizens, we interpret it. And when we give force to that interpretation, when we do, carry out our activity.